What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Trading Empire. In this 5th episode, I'm going to show you the match trade. I'm going to show you a live example of how I'm executing a match trade. I'll explain what the match trade is. At the end of this video, my intention is that you'll be able to execute your own match trade. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, first of all, what is a match trade? So getting in at the matching price of a stock is getting in right at the open, being part of the very first transaction that is happening on a given day. So, and in this particular example here on BrainChip, BRN, is that the match price is or was at 80 cents. And you can see it here in Spark in the market depth, that the blue bar here indicates the matching price. So before trading begins on the ASX, you can see the executed or the anticipated executing matching price, which in this particular case is 80 cents. And looking at the chart, 80 cents was yesterday's resistance up here, or at least it went up to a high of 81. And today the match is at 80 cents, currently at 9:57 a.m. looking in Spark here in the replay. So, and if I let this play out, I can see that right before the open, you see all these highlighted in blue lines here are the orders that are being matched at that executing price. And now it's 9:59 and 30 seconds a.m. And as we know, and I've also covered that already in my morning routine video, that the stocks on the ASX open in different groups, and group number 1 opens at 10 a.m. plus minus 15 seconds, and it matches all the stocks with the letters A to B and also with numbers. So BRN is just about to open. If I click on play here, and we can see how this plays out. So I just press play, go a little bit faster, and boom, there's the match. So the match here at 80 cents covered 1,269,099 shares at a turnover of 1,050,000. So that was the match. And as you can see, there now is an ask of 195,000 shares sitting there after the match. So whoever wanted to sell at 80 cents at the match, all of these 195,000 shares could have not been matched because they were lining up in the queue after the match. Their orders just came in too late, and there was not enough supply on the bid side for those orders to be filled. Why is the match trade so important, and why am I talking about this? Because as you can see on BRN's example yesterday, getting in at the match was the best possible entry for the whole day. It was at 80 cents and the stock didn't even look behind, it just went up from there. And you could have covered or captured a really good gain on this getting in at the match. Looking at the 5-minute chart here on the right hand side, you can see that straight after the open, and I can press play to show you guys what happens. You see that it's just stacking up, going up to 82.5 further on. So that's already almost a 5% gain there in a matter of minutes, right? And with the right position size, you could have captured a good gain on that. Okay, now I'll quickly elaborate on the decision-making process that I go through, and this is all part of the morning routine. Again, I already posted a video about this, which you can look back on my channel too and have a look. So I'll firstly check the macro picture. So what has happened on the US markets overnight? And I can see that the Dow has posted a new all-time high, predominantly value stocks, whereas the Nasdaq, shown here, went off from its recent high here. So we have a decoupling of the Dow from the Nasdaq, which makes sense in the underlying macro picture that we currently have. We have a tapering process going on by the Federal Reserve Bank. We have now a timeline for rate hikes coming up in 2022, which means that stocks that post profits on a constant basis, stocks that pay dividends are suddenly more attractive than growth stocks, because the underlying debt and the underlying interest they pay on their loans is a bigger risk to their business model than to stocks that constantly print profits. Now, looking at FinViz on the market map, I can see what stocks have been mainly affected by this decoupling. And you can see that straight away technology went down big time. Okay, 1.7% for Microsoft and Apple is not as bad, but it tells us something. Whereas on the other hand, financial service had a really strong day. Insurance, capital markets, banks, asset managers, all big in the green. And also you can see that aerospace and defense, the industrial sector, farm and heavy construction machinery, in particular the energy sector, oil and gas exploration and all that, they had a really strong day. Also looking at car manufacturers here, not looking at Tesla too much. Tesla is more of a tech stock to me than it is a car manufacturer. At least they're in the same sector though. You can see Ford and General Motors really strong. So the underlying picture to me for today's trading is that value stocks would probably go up today, whereas tech stocks and risk stocks, growth assets, would drop down. And what I'm interested in here for today is the energy sector. And I checked that as well here on the crude price, which is currently also in an upward trend. All indicators lining up, the price is going up, the MACD divergence is going up, and the RSI is going up. So to me, the energy sector is the name of the game today. I want to look into opportunities on the energy sector. So 88 Energy, 88E, has caught my attention today. It's a oil and gas exploration company. The fundamental story behind the stock is intact. Also from a chart point of view, technical analysis point of view, it looks interesting. We do have right now at 9:40 a.m. we already have a matching volume of 50 million shares, which is already more shares than it's been recently trading for full trading days. So we already have increased volume in the pre-market auction here. I can see that the opening price is currently sitting at 2.8 cents here in Spark on the blue bar. So this is the current match price. And I can see there is a surplus volume on the bid side currently of 11.6 million shares, which would be left sitting on the bid side after the match, which is also good. And if I move over here to the biggest gainers, I can see that 88 Energy is with 3.7% gapping up today, already on top of the list. It has significant turnover of 1.4 million compared to its peers. So in order to place the order, I just picked the share size that I want to be taking, and the price, the limit price, and I press buy in the pre-market phase. I already did that a couple of minutes earlier just to make sure I'm going to get my fill. I typed in 2.9 cents instead of 2.8 because I want to make sure I get my fill. So right now you can see that my order is sitting there at 2.9 cents and the matching price is still 2.8. So even though my limit is higher than the current matching price, I'm gonna get my fill. Fast forward to 9:57 a.m. As you can see, the matching price has moved to 2.9 cents with a negative surplus volume, which will be the shares left sitting on the ask side once the match has taken place. So let's have a look at the match in live. You see the time is 9:59 a.m. at the bottom right, and boom, I got my fill right there. 2.9 cents, 62 million shares matched. And now I'll put in my sell order straight away, 340,000 shares, selling at 3 cents, which would mean I would have a $340 profit once the sell order is triggered. As I've moved away from my screen, I'll now have to show you the result of this trade on the replay mode, but that's fine. I'll just let it play out from here. Go a little bit faster, pause. So you see at 10:50 a.m. the first parcel of 3 cent has been bought, only for $500, probably an algo trade. And if I let this play out a little bit more, you see another parcel being bought up for 4K at 10.52. And then you see more buy orders, more people taking the 3 cent from the ask, chipping away, whereas the buy orders for 2.9 cent are already also stacking up now to 9.4 million, 9.2. More buy orders coming through at 3 cent. More buys, almost 1 million shares now being bought. Buy side further stacking up to 12 million now. Ask side slowly going down, chipping away. Boom. And then all of a sudden you see 28 million shares being bought up at 11:10 a.m. And yeah, basically this whole trade has taken 1 hour and 11 minutes, and you can see the orders that went through here. As I'm in a different time zone from where I trade, you see that in my time it was at 1:10 a.m. So yeah, getting in on the match here on the 4th of January before the open, 340,000 shares bought at 2.9 cents, and 1 hour 10 minutes later sold at 0.3. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is a very powerful trade that you can do on the ASX, and it's very, very crucial that you do it with a stock that is actually in play. So it either has to have a macroeconomic background that is supporting the trade, or there's a catalyst, or there's a lot of volume. So these sort of setups work really well on those kind of stocks. And it also helps if the stock is gapping up, and it's also helping if the stock is gapping down on a negative catalyst, which you can then do a match trade going to the short side in. So make sure you guys have an exit strategy as well. So the trade, of course, can also go against you. So you need to have your stop loss in play, and also make sure you capture those profits once they're there. That trade works really well generally in shorter time frames. So it's a day trade in my opinion. So you want to get out of that trade in a matter of minutes or maybe even hours, like I did in my example today. It's very important that you use Spark. Iguana Spark is really good in executing that trade. It really gives you a visual picture of the market depth like no other software out there. So it's highly recommended to use Spark for that. Of course, you need a broker to execute the trade. I posted videos about the software and the hardware you need generally to do trading. I used interactive brokers in my example because I'm trading from overseas, but I know most of the traders in Australia use FP Markets. It works really well with FP Markets as well. If you like what you're seeing and if you're enjoying those videos, then make sure you hit that subscribe button as hard as you can, like those videos and write up some comments. I love to hear about your results. I'm answering to all of your queries and questions. So make sure you're active. That helps a lot in sending out those videos. And if you want to reach out to me, then just send me a DM via Twitter. I posted my Twitter handle in the description. So whatever you want to know, you can always reach out to me. Really, really happy to give advice or any help in sort of trading. So with that, I'll wrap it up, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and let me know how you go.